WalkBike Longview is the regional bicycle and pedestrian plan for the Longview, Gladewater, and White Oak area, as well as areas in between. Over several years, from comprehensive planning to community involvement in other areas, people have said they want more opportunities to walk and bike. They want to have options for how they get around. This is a great opportunity for the community to take a look at what the current conditions are for walking and biking and start thinking about the future. How can we make our communities better for getting around on foot and on two wheels?
I bike typically 5 to 6 days a week.
We pretty much walk or bike every week.
2 or 3 times a week.
You can do it this way.
We look at the street network, the existing trails. We look at all that and see what are the conditions for people out there walking and biking right now. And we want to understand what works well, what could work better. And we supplement that with a lot of community involvement. And that's one of the things that we're doing right now while we're here in Longview, is to take a look at what people's priorities are, what their goals are for the project and for the future of the community.
We walk more than we bike, but if we had more trails that weren't in competition with walkers, then we would ride our bikes more.
There are a lot of benefits to walking and biking from a personal level. Increased health is one. In places where people walk and bike regularly, there are lower rates of chronic diseases, of obesity, of diabetes, lower rates of depression. Finally, there are some pretty significant economic benefits. We see across the country that when people arrive to a business on foot or by bike, they end up actually spending more money in total over a course of a month than they would if they were driving there. Areas where people walk and bike tend to have higher property values, especially if there are safe and comfortable places for people to walk. Nice sidewalks, comfortable trails, comfortable on-street bikeways as well. Another important aspect of investing in biking and walking is to make it safer and more comfortable for people that are already out there using our streets, using our sidewalks, and using our trails to get from point A to point B.
I know before I started riding my bike, I didn't understand passing a cyclist, that you should actually give them 3 feet of space or try to get in the whole other lane. So if we had bike lanes where there was a protected area, that would really do a lot.
It makes investing in walking and biking much more economical if we can leverage street projects to include those types of amenities when they're built. There are many opportunities in Longview to use some of the right-of-way that is available, where there's a lot of space between the curb and property lines that doesn't have sidewalk right now. That can be added in relatively easily. There are also opportunities on several streets to go through and reconfigure the striping a little bit so that the street functions just as well for people driving, but it also gives a safe, comfortable, delineated space for people biking as well.
I would probably bike and walk to get around town more often if the roads were a little bit safer, like the traffic was more managed.
A lot of kids walk to the well.
The involvement of the community is incredibly important to the success of this project. We need to hear from all parts of the Longview area, Gladewater area, White Oak area, people that walk and bike already on a regular basis and those that don't walk and bike as much but might like to. The primary way to get involved is to visit the project website. From there, you'll be able to do 2 things that are really critical to the success of this project. One is to take the survey. Within that survey, you'll tell us your preferences for various types of strategies, what you like, what you don't like. You can also visit an interactive online mapping application which will let you pinpoint specific locations within the community that are either good opportunities for walking or biking, challenges for walking and biking. You can pinpoint barriers. You can say, here's a route that I want to be able to take. Here's what's good about it. Here's what's not so good about it. And that'll be really important information that helps us to know where to prioritize investments within the community on into the future.